I'm doing my presentation over Module 6, Chapter 6, Attitude Measurements. Attitude is defined as a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. Attitudes have two subcomponents, behavioral beliefs and the outcome evaluations. And researchers use questionnaires to measure attitudes. The three standard measurement tests are using the Likert scale, the Gutman scale, or the semantic differential scale. I chose to talk about the Likert scale because I think it's most relevant to our lives as college students, because I feel like we're always asked to do surveys about classes or the complexes we live in, our living situations, our political beliefs if we're in, poli-sci classes or stuff like that. The Likert scale is a list of opinionated statements, and you answer depending on how much you agree with them. So if the surveyor has 7 different points, number 1 being strongly disagree to number 7 being agree, you would read the statement and then circle which point you feel. So if you agree with it, you would just put agree. If you're neutral about it, you would just circle the neutral system. On these scales, you typically have about a 5 to 7 point numbering system. It could be 1 to 4, it could be 1 to 9, but 5 or 7 different answers is about normal for these types of tests. I personally have used these as a student at UTSA. Last semester, I had to take a analysis and assessment class for my public administration minor, and we had to come up with a research question. We had like 4 or 5 different groups. Each group came up with one topic, and it ranged from transportation to political beliefs to why you chose UTSA to why you chose your major and stuff like that. And questions were formed like, how informed were you in the 2016 presidential election? And our scale went from didn't vote, not very informed, somewhat informed, or very informed. And this gave us a wide variety of people who didn't vote in the election because they felt like they didn't have enough information, or they just didn't feel like it, or they voted but they weren't very informed, or however informed they felt they were. And I think using this type of scale is good because it allows people to not have a delayed response. Like personally, when I do these things, I read the question and then I answer truthfully, probably as quickly as possible, just so that I can, I don't hesitate and I don't second guess myself and be like, well, I could agree, but I could also not agree. But I also think that these tests give us kind of a negative connotation because some participants may not be very involved and just circle whatever answers they feel, and then it doesn't give you an accurate representation of what you're trying to survey or what attitude that this person might have. They're just circling and going through the motions. In conclusion, attitudes are behavioral beliefs and outcome evaluations a person feels about someone or something. These attitudes can be measured using the 3 scales, Likert, Gutman, or semantic differential. The Likert scale I like because it's straightforward. You get asked an opinionated question, and you get a quick response, typically, or you could get those people who just randomly choose answers.